I don't see the possibility of failure. Not when you can learn from everything that you've done.
A breathtaking confrontation has officially erupted after Meghan's arrogance pushed far beyond the limits of Princess Anne's patience. Holding in her hands the darkest hidden truths, along with a series of undeniable pieces of evidence exposing her niece-in-law's deeply calculated past, the formidable princess of the British royal family decided that she would no longer shield or tolerate her for even one more moment. Anne's decisive counterstrike immediately ignited a media earthquake, forcing Meghan into a corner with no possible escape. Every act of manipulation, every defiant attitude, and every scheme to cling to the royal name for personal gain was laid completely bare, triggering an unprecedented wave of public outrage and the harshest punishment ever witnessed in history. Facing the absolute authority and overwhelming fury of the royal family, how will Meghan endure this bitter collapse, and will the devastating price she is forced to pay completely extinguish every one of her reckless ambitions? The entire international media landscape and social media platforms have just experienced an unprecedented earthquake. The catalyst was the unexpected action of a retired high-end fashion designer. Having spent many years working closely with and becoming deeply connected to the entertainment industry and the world's elite while safeguarding countless private secrets, he suddenly released an exclusive photo book, accompanied by a behind-the-scenes journal personally written over the years. The publication instantly attracted enormous public attention because every page contained an abundance of highly sensitive information and photographs. In the newly published volume, the designer openly revealed his complete VIP financial ledger, along with numerous authentic photographs taken during private gatherings attended by some of the world's wealthiest billionaires. These exclusive events had always been protected by strict confidentiality, with no images ever leaked to the public before. Most striking of all, Meghan Markle's name appeared repeatedly throughout both the transparent financial records and the clearly printed VIP guest lists. She was specifically identified under the designation of a special entertainment guest. But the revelations did not stop there. The behind-the-scenes journal also documented in remarkable detail how Meghan had repeatedly received extraordinarily expensive gifts, ranging from luxurious jewelry to substantial financial payments from members of the ultra-wealthy, simply in exchange for agreeing to appear at and attend these private gatherings. The moment the photographs, financial ledger pages, and detailed information from the book were released, online communities around the world erupted into chaos. Media forums, newspapers, online news outlets, and social media platforms exploded with an overwhelming flood of articles, discussions, comments, and shares spreading at astonishing speed. Members of the public and internet users collectively declared that the long-circulating rumors surrounding Meghan's alleged past as a sugar baby and her supposed habit of targeting wealthy men had now been confirmed beyond any room for dispute. The growing wave of public outrage was directed not only at Meghan herself, but also relentlessly towards the British royal family across newspaper headlines and online platforms. Many members of the public fiercely argued that the monarchy was directly connected to the scandal and should bear responsibility for it as well. Critics accused the British royal family of completely failing to conduct a thorough background investigation, allowing someone with such a scandal-ridden history of exclusive private parties and alleged gold digging to marry into one of the world's most prestigious royal dynasties. Faced with this relentless wave of public condemnation aimed directly at the British royal family, how will the members of the monarchy respond to calm the growing crisis? Faced with overwhelming public pressure and the relentless media storm crashing directly upon Buckingham Palace, the British royal family realized it could no longer remain completely silent as it had before. The fury of online communities around the world had spiraled beyond control, demanding an official response from the monarchy to calm the mounting wave of criticism. The royal family chose Princess Anne to stand before the media and handle this escalating crisis. She officially issued a public statement in an effort to ease the increasingly tense situation. In her brief remarks to the press, Princess Anne attempted to contain the damage, All of the information, photographs, and guest lists currently circulating on social media are in reality merely part of Meghan's private life from her younger years, long before she became a member of the royal family. However, Princess Anne's attempt to calm the situation not only failed to extinguish the public's anger, but instead backfired with extraordinary force. Her explanation was met with fierce backlash from both the public and the international media. Online forums immediately erupted with countless posts, sarcastic comments, and direct criticism targeting her statement. Many argued that Princess Anne's characterization of Meghan's alleged interactions with wealthy elites in exchange for lavish gifts as merely part of her private life when she was young was nothing more than an awkward and unconvincing excuse. Public opinion overwhelmingly accused the British royal family of deliberately tolerating and covering up Meghan's scandal-ridden past solely to preserve the monarchy's prestigious image before the world. As Princess Anne watched public outrage spiral even further, with attacks against the monarchy growing more frequent and the situation slipping completely beyond control, she became deeply concerned about the reputation of the royal family. Seeing no other option, she decisively took the initiative to send Meghan an official email. In her message, Princess Anne instructed Meghan to take immediate action to resolve the personal scandal she herself had created, and to stop dragging the royal family's name deeper into the controversy. This matter has gone far beyond the limits of what can be tolerated, and is causing extremely serious damage to the reputation of the royal family. You must immediately issue a public statement correcting these allegations in order to protect our shared honor. Despite receiving an email that carried both the force of an order and an unmistakably stern warning from the senior royal who stood at the head of the family, Meghan completely ignored both the goodwill behind the message and the seriousness of the situation. She issued no public clarification whatsoever as requested. Instead, she responded directly to Princess Anne with an email of her own. Rather than expressing cooperation or acknowledging any responsibility, Meghan's reply adopted an openly defiant and mocking tone, showing no hesitation in challenging Princess Anne herself. "I will not issue any public clarification at the princess's request. Everything happening right now simply demonstrates the extraordinary level of public interest in me. The princess should stop trying to interfere in my affairs simply because she is jealous of the attention, fame, and media influence that I possess." That email, filled with unmistakable contempt and direct insult, struck Princess Anne like a bucket of ice water. She could hardly believe that a member of the family by marriage would so brazenly turn her back on both royal authority and the honor of the monarchy with such astonishing arrogance. Meghan's stubbornness and blatant disregard for royal discipline completely extinguished every ounce of goodwill that had existed at the beginning of the crisis. Princess Anne realized that continuing to protect or make allowances for Meghan would now serve no purpose whatsoever. Her final reserve of patience had reached its absolute limit, transforming what had begun as a dispute into a fierce confrontation that placed both sides on a collision course with no possibility of compromise, while igniting a series of ruthless, retaliatory measures from the royal family that could never be undone. What uncompromising response will Princess Anne deliver to Meghan's act of defiance now that the royal family's patience has finally reached its breaking point? After receiving Meghan's email filled with arrogance, defiance, and mockery, Princess Anne's anger reached its absolute peak. Every remaining trace of patience, restraint, and goodwill that had driven her initial attempt to calm the crisis completely collapsed. No longer acting as someone trying to resolve a media scandal through diplomacy or protect a member of the family, Princess Anne decisively shifted to an uncompromising and ruthless stance. She resolved that she would not waste another moment speaking to Meghan. Instead, Princess Anne chose to exercise her personal authority, royal status, and far-reaching influence to intervene directly at the very source of the scandal. She personally established direct communication with the retired high-end fashion designer who had recently released the explosive photo book and behind-the-scenes journal that had shaken global public opinion. Without involving any intermediary lawyer or legal representative, Princess Anne personally telephoned him. Throughout this forceful and highly authoritative conversation, she deliberately recorded the entire exchange as irrefutable evidence that could never be denied. Confronted with the overwhelming authority and unspoken pressure exerted by a senior representative of the British royal family, the retired designer found himself unable to conceal, evade, or deny anything. He was ultimately compelled to provide a truthful, meticulous, and detailed account of every aspect of Meghan's past conduct. In that confidential recording, the designer explained in painstaking detail how Meghan had repeatedly and deliberately employed every imaginable tactic to attract, approach, manipulate, and ingratiate herself with members of the ultra-wealthy, elite, and billionaire circles. From intentionally appearing at exclusive private gatherings and creating seemingly accidental encounters to capture attention, to making discreet arrangements in exchange for luxurious gifts and substantial financial benefits, every smallest detail was described with striking clarity and complete candor. The conversation methodically stripped away every layer of the flawless image Meghan had long sought to cultivate before the media, exposing a carefully calculated past built around gaining entry into the world of the ultra-rich. Immediately after securing the complete recording of that damaging testimony, Princess Anne wasted no time before issuing a firm and uncompromising order, leaving the retired fashion designer with no room whatsoever to refuse. I require you to immediately gather every original document and every authentic photograph that has never been edited, cropped, or blurred in any way, and send the entire collection directly to me in the United Kingdom as quickly as possible. Princess Anne's decisive, cold, and lightning-fast response quickly placed the entire dark truth surrounding Meghan's past firmly within her grasp. By personally calling the designer recording his testimony and demanding that all original materials be surrendered, Anne secured complete control of the situation. Every possible avenue of retreat and every potential defense Meghan might have relied upon was now entirely blocked by these undeniable pieces of evidence. Anne's uncompromising intervention became the strongest possible answer to Meghan's blatant disregard for royal discipline. The original, authentic, and deeply damaging evidence was now on its way to London, ready to become the ultimate weapon Princess Anne intended to use in delivering the harshest punishment against Meghan's arrogance, stubbornness, and openly defiant attitude. By taking possession of the complete collection of original materials, Princess Anne sought not only to restore the honor of the royal family, but also to permanently shatter the reckless self-confidence of her headstrong niece-in-law. Once the sensitive original photographs and the designer's first-hand testimony arrive at the British royal family, how will Princess Anne use this collection of evidence to ensure that Meghan is finally forced to pay the price? Exactly as demanded in Princess Anne's stern, cold, and authoritative order, the very next day, the retired fashion designer urgently sent the complete collection of documents, along with Meghan's original party photographs, directly to the United Kingdom. The moment Princess Anne began carefully examining every detail in the files, she was overcome with shock, disbelief, and overwhelming anger. Seeing the highly sensitive, inappropriate, and unmistakably explicit party photographs of Meghan from the period before she entered the royal family, her fury reached its absolute peak. Every remaining trace of respect and even the smallest measure of compassion she still held for Meghan completely vanished in the face of undeniable evidence, exposing a past she regarded as profoundly lacking in dignity and propriety. Unable to tolerate Meghan's earlier arrogance and defiance any longer, nor the actions that had already caused and continued to cause serious damage to the honor, reputation, and public image of the royal family, Princess Anne immediately made a complete copy of the entire file along with every sensitive photograph. She attached all of the materials to a highly confidential official email and sent it directly to Meghan. In the message, Princess Anne issued an uncompromising warning, demanding that Meghan immediately provide a clear explanation for her conduct. I am sending you a complete copy of this file together with these sensitive and inappropriate party photographs. Take a long look at yourself and immediately provide me with a formal and unequivocal explanation for every one of these undeniable facts. Every word in the email reflected absolute severity and the unbreakable discipline expected from the senior royal, charged with handling the crisis. By sending Meghan a copy of the evidence, Princess Anne intended not merely to issue a personal warning, but to deliver a final ultimatum, forcing Meghan to confront reality and accept responsibility for the mistakes of her own past. Yet before Meghan could issue any response at all, a deeply serious and shocking incident unfolded. The entire contents of the confidential private email, containing numerous sensitive photographs, damaging evidence, and Princess Anne's demand for an explanation, were accidentally leaked to the outside world. The leak acted like a spark thrown into an already volatile powder keg. Within an astonishingly short period of time, the complete file and Meghan's private party photographs spread across social media platforms, online discussion forums, and international news outlets at breathtaking speed. The unexpected breach completely shattered every attempt at damage control, transforming what had been an internal disciplinary exchange into an unprecedented global media firestorm. This unintended security breach immediately ignited an unprecedented wave of public outrage across the world. Online communities launched a massive, coordinated backlash aimed directly at Meghan across newspapers, digital media outlets, and every major social media platform. Millions of comments condemning and fiercely criticizing her appeared everywhere in overwhelming numbers. Internet users showed no restraint in labeling her a hypocrite who had lived a double life, someone who had carefully crafted the image of an elegant and sophisticated public figure, while allegedly spending her past immersed in inappropriate private parties, designed to attract the ultra-wealthy in exchange for personal gain. The wave of outrage spread across continents, triggering a media assault on a scale never before witnessed in history. Every previous attempt at justification instantly became meaningless once the authentic photographs had laid everything bare. The frustration and anger that had been building among the public for so long erupted all at once, leaving Meghan completely cornered, with no path to redemption, and turning her into the single most intensely condemned figure on the global stage, pushing the entire scandal to the brink of catastrophe. As the storm of worldwide condemnation intensifies and the full truth stands exposed, how will Meghan attempt to escape the crisis, and what will Princess Anne's final act of punishment ultimately be? The unprecedented and relentless onslaught from online communities around the world quickly engulfed Meghan in a media crisis that had become completely impossible to control. Confronted with overwhelming public pressure and an avalanche of fierce criticism and outrage pouring in from every direction, Meghan fell into a state of complete panic, despair, and exhaustion. No longer able to maintain the defiant, dismissive, and arrogant attitude she had displayed when mocking Princess Anne in her earlier email, she was ultimately left with only one option: total silence. At the same time, Meghan hurriedly locked all of her personal social media accounts and media platforms in an effort to escape the relentless wave of condemnation, judgment, and abuse flooding in from internet users across the globe. Yet Meghan's decision to remain silent, evade responsibility, and retreat from public view earned neither sympathy nor understanding. Nor did it do anything to calm Princess Anne's determination to restore discipline and defend the integrity of the monarchy. Refusing to tolerate Meghan's cowardice, her attempts to avoid the consequences of her actions, or the series of scandals that had tarnished the family's honor, Princess Anne decisively delivered her final and most uncompromising punishment, leaving her opponent with absolutely no opportunity to reverse the situation. She officially authorized the public release of the complete collection of authentic photographs, showing Meghan attending exclusive gatherings with billionaire elites, images that had been deliberately blurred where necessary to obscure excessively graphic or highly sensitive details in accordance with broadcasting standards. These photographs were presented before the public and the international press as clear, undeniable, and irrefutable evidence. The release of these photographs became the decisive move that completely shattered every remaining attempt by Meghan to evade or deny responsibility. International public opinion immediately erupted upon witnessing what many regarded as the most damaging evidence yet to be disclosed directly by the royal family. This unprecedented transparency instantly swept away every lingering doubt, silencing accusations that Buckingham Palace had intended to conceal the truth or extend special protection to a royal family member whose conduct had become the center of controversy. Accompanying the release of the stark photographic evidence, Princess Anne, speaking as the senior representative of the British royal family, issued an unwavering public declaration before the international media. In light of these undeniable facts, and in order to safeguard the supreme honor of the British royal family, we hereby officially declare the complete removal of all royal styles and titles, and the permanent severance of every remaining connection between the Duke and Duchess of Sussex and the monarchy, effective immediately. Princess Anne's exceptionally firm, uncompromising, and decisive action was met with immediate and overwhelming support, widespread approval, and enthusiastic praise from the public around the world. The earlier wave of accusations, claiming that the royal family had protected or covered for Meghan, vanished entirely, replaced by deep admiration for Princess Anne's honesty, fairness, refusal to shield wrongdoing, and unwavering determination to defend the monarchy's reputation. Bringing one of the most sensational media scandals in recent memory to its conclusion, the complete exposure of Meghan's past effectively closed every remaining avenue for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex to return to or continue invoking the prestige of the royal family, with broad public support for the outcome. The British royal family's resolute response not only brought a prolonged series of scandals to an end, but also sent an unmistakable message that no individual, regardless of media influence or public profile, would ever be permitted to disregard the discipline, dignity, and honor of the monarchy. It became the harshest possible ending, delivering a devastating blow to the public image of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex and driving them completely away from the royal spotlight they had once fought so hard to retain. Inside the luxurious yet chilling silence of the Montecito estate, Meghan slumped into the corner of a sofa, her trembling hands gripping the edge of the cushion. Her phone screen continued flashing, with an endless stream of notifications pouring in from every social media platform, but she no longer had the courage to touch it. The worldwide wave of public outrage raging outside crashed over her like relentless storm-driven waves, sweeping away every trace of the pride and arrogance she had once possessed. For the first time in her life, Meghan felt raw panic and primal fear consume her completely. Her downfall did not stem merely from being criticized. It came from the overwhelming realization that she had lost all control. Every media strategy, every carefully crafted image of herself as a modern, elegant, and powerful woman that she had spent years building had vanished into thin air overnight. Having the most deeply buried aspects of her past exposed before the judgmental eyes of millions across the globe was a nightmare she had never imagined she would have to face. The mocking and defiant email she had sent to Princess Anne only days earlier now came back like a crushing slap across her own self-satisfaction. Meghan bitterly realized that when confronted with genuine royal authority and undeniable evidence, every one of her media manipulation tactics amounted to nothing more than clumsy tricks. A suffocating mixture of resentment, humiliation, and despair rose painfully in her throat. She locked herself inside a private room, refusing every phone call and unwilling to face anyone, not even Harry. Shutting down all of her social media accounts was no longer simply an attempt to hide. It became the bitterest admission of defeat imaginable. The room was terrifyingly silent, broken only by her uneven breathing and the tears silently streaming down her stunned face. The glamour and dazzling spotlight of the media world that she had once longed for and proudly embraced had now transformed into an iron cage, trapping her beneath the relentless scorn of the public. Princess Anne's official declaration stripping away every royal title and permanently severing all remaining ties felt like a life sentence imposed upon Meghan's future. Every ambition she had nurtured to benefit from the royal name and preserve her public influence collapsed completely. Now standing amid the ruins, created by her own stubbornness and arrogance, Meghan found herself consumed by absolute loneliness, forced to confront the devastating price of recklessly provoking the discipline and authority of one of the world's oldest royal institutions. How do you feel about Princess Anne's decisive punishment and Meghan's bitter downfall in this story? In your opinion, what profound lesson does this bitter ending born from arrogance and disregard for discipline teach us about the value of honesty and self-respect? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click on the next video showing on your screen. You're going to enjoy it.